What's your reaction to what's happened to Mr. Padilla?
Well, obviously, very disappointed. Of course, we still have to keep in mind that these are allegations yet and have yet to be proven, but he has been indicted. I mean, my first reaction is, of course, is there a detrimental morale impact on our folks here at the office, and the next is a concern of the loss of confidence in our citizens.
Hmm.
But we've been through this before, and we've always been able to bounce back. We're a very resilient organization. We're very focused. We're very strong, and it is events like this that test our character. And you got to be knocked down two, three times and be able to bounce right back up and show your true side, your true colors. And I think we'll come out as an organization. I think we'll come out okay on this.
Where do you go from here?
Well, obviously, there's some restructuring to be done. Again, we're talking about allegations
Hmm.
that yet have to be proven, even though he has been indicted on elements of probable cause. What we do is we continue doing what we have been doing. There's really no impact on the delivery of services to our citizens. And our community outreach programs and those programs that we have designed that have won state awards for going out there and connecting with the people and lowering the crime rate and making us more accessible and more visible, we will continue and we'll continue going straight through with this. And we're not going to change operations. I mean, th- we will continue doing as we have been, and we have been very successful. But I do like to add one thing.
Hmm.
Criticism, and I'm talking about our leadership. Criticism is healthy, and that's because it gives you a completely different perspective of what people are saying and a different perspective on the issue. So it personally makes me, as a sheriff of this county, it makes me try harder and maybe creating and implementing solutions if in fact there is a problem. And I've always done this, and you've known me long enough to know that I don't shy away from controversy. I meet it head on, and I'm a problem solver. I mean, look, we've got the lowest crime rates on the border in the state of Texas. That's not by accident. We've minimized the Mexican cartel spillover crime to a very minimum. And that's not by accident either. All the numerous state awarded
Hmm.
and recognized programs in reducing crime rates and reaching out to the community is not by accident.
So
What I'm
you,
trying to say here is this: is what I'm trying to say is that my leadership of an office with over 800 employees should not be judged only by the actions of a few that have refused to play by the rules and opted to corrupt their authority. And I'm talking mainly about the Panama unit people, and maybe in this case, if it's proven to be true, it's we're the
hmm
largest law enforcement agency in South Texas, and just by statistically, if you compare us to, let's say, Alamo or San Juan, who have 25, 30 officers, statistically, the chances of something going wrong are much greater in a much bigger department. I mean, that's common sense. But again, it's we go forward and then we play by the rules and do what we have to do.
how do you now? You have been in law enforcement. I don't know how long. 30 years. I don't have your
No,
bio.
thank you. It's actually 41.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't have your bio
41
in
years.
front of me. You've been in
Yeah,
law enforcement a long time, 41 years, and
yeah.
Mr. Padilla had worked with you as the number two in the department for how long?
Okay, first of all, let me correct that.
Okay.
And the media has been saying that he's a number two man.
Huh.
I don't have a number two man system.
Okay.
Joe Padilla, Joe Padilla had the rank of commander, as three other individuals in the department, plus my chief of staff. I run a system where I have an executive command staff, and then I have a command staff. The executive command staff is made up of my chief of staff, four commanders, and they're my primary advisory panel.
So he was one of four. what you're saying.
He's actually one of four. No, one
Okay.
of five. I'm sorry,
All right.
one of five. And now the captains are like 9 or 10 of them, and they come in the second level and they execute the policies with their input, of course, that the executive command staff creates. But of course, I have the final say so as sheriff. So not that I'm trying to distance myself from him personally or professionally. It's just that they keep saying number two
Yeah.
man, and that's not true. And
Okay.
the system, I do not have a number two man system. I did away with that years ago.
All right. Well, now that's straightened out. You have dealt with him for a long time. How do you, and you've been let down would be the kind way to put it by all kinds of people in the Panama unit now of this thing, if it proves to be
Right.
true. How do
Yeah.
you trust the people below you in the department? How do you, since,
David, that's probably the best and the most intelligent and the most simplest question I have been asked when all this started a year ago. And I got to congratulate you on that.
thank you.
Okay, that's probably the very best question I've ever been asked. Now, ask me again.
How do you
Just ask it
trust?
again.
How do you trust people below you? I put down underlings, but how do you trust
Yeah.
all the people below you in the department?
Just like any other chief, any other sheriff, and any prosecutor. And the reason I mention prosecutors is this. As a prosecutor, you have to trust the police officer on the stand to tell the truth while he's testifying until you can prove him to be a liar. The same thing in the management of police officers from a sheriff or a chief perspective. You train them, you give them the tools, you advise them, you mentor them, you direct them, and then you expect them to do the right thing. And you have to trust them to do the right thing until they have proven to you that they cannot be trusted. And that's when it stops. I mean, how can you say I've got a magic formula or something to determine whether this guy is going to be a future liar or not? There is no such thing. And look, this is not unique to Hidalgo County or to the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office. This has happened numerous times in the past, and I promise you it's going to happen again in the future countrywide. Any time that you have an area where drug dealing, drug trafficking is prevalent, is one of the major things that occurs, you're going to have people fall to temptation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about the Panama unit because Padilla is still an allegation, okay? I just want to be as fair as I can with everybody. Now, it happened in New York City during the Serpico days. It happened in Miami with the Miami River Cops. It happened in Los Angeles with the Rampart Unit. It happened in Las Vegas Metro Policing Unit. It happens all over the United States. And now it just happened again with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office, where 20 deputies were indicted at one time. And Sheriff Lee Baca, who's a friend of mine, is now under fire for something like that. And you're talking 18,000 deputies. I only have 800 employees.
Well, does it ever make you think, maybe my judgment's not what I think it is, and that's how I keep missing these guys? I'd hire them, think they're good.
No, that's absolutely not.
Okay.
Now, I am very confident in my capabilities and my abilities and skills as a leader, as a sheriff, as a law enforcement individual. I've been doing this for a long time, Davis. And if you start thinking that way, that, hey, maybe I missed something or it's my fault or something or other, then you've lost all confidence and then you shouldn't be doing what you are doing. You should be working at Circle K or something like that. It's just, it's impossible. But, I mean, did you really think that, for example, that an editor of a newspaper who's had several problems of plagiarism within his news reporters, like it has happened in the New York Times, that all of a sudden they say, well, this guy, there's something wrong with the editor. He doesn't know what the heck he's doing. No, of course not. It doesn't work that way. People, you have to remember one thing. People have free will. And they are going to do what they want to do regardless of what you tell them. The good thing is, out of 800 employees, I've had, 9 or 10 that went bad on me? Okay, I mean, statistically, you know,
1%, a little more than 1%.
well, maybe it is.
I can't do math in
I'm
my
not real
head,
good
even
at
the
the math,
simple stuff.
but nonetheless, it's a very small percentage. And if you go, you know, it'd be interesting if somebody was to do a study, and what percentage of their employees do go bad, regardless of the number of employees that you've got, and you're going to find it's probably the same statistical deviation. And I can't see it any other way. But to say that I have lost judgment or that I have lost touch with the guys, that's absolutely not. I think quite on the contrary. Quite on the contrary.
Last question. We're on the verge of a new year. A year from now, where is Lupe Trevino and the Sheriff's Department going to be?
We're gonna get right back to the top where we were at the beginning of 2012. You know, 2012 was, 2013 was probably the hardest and most difficult year, not only in my professional life but in my personal life. But again, this is what defines our character. And next year we're gonna get up to the top and stay there.
All right, Sheriff, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. That is Hidalgo County Sheriff Lupe Trevino. I'm Davis Rankin. You're listening to The Drive Home on 710 KURV.